Show you them now from this angle. This is a Blue Swedish video, update video. The one right there is Havoc, and then Hera is up there. They are Blue Swedish. Havoc is the male, and then Hera is the female. I will be getting a more up-close video of them in just a minute. I will be getting a more up-close video of them in a second. I'm going to pick them up, or not, actually, if I can get them down. Here, I'm falling. I'm falling. Havoc's chest is more of the broken white. Stretching for you. Stretching. And Hera's is more white, all the way through. But they're doing fantastic. I am just able to tell that he's a male and that she is a female, even though I've been able to somewhat tell for a little while. I kind of had my doubts, but they're doing great. And they are not related to my current bunch, or my two other Welshes, wrong video. They are not related to my other Blue Swedishes at all. They are completely different lines, which I'm happy about. I wanted two different lines, so that's why I'm not upset that he's a male. I mean, I was a little disappointed, but it works better that we have another male from a different line, because more than likely those two are related and the other two are related. So it just makes it a little bit easier. But that's Havoc and Hera, and then Guppy and Gladys. Guppy is my male, Gladys is my female, and they're all Blue Swedishes. They're not one of the other varieties. If you've watched my other video, I do have a video on with a black Swedish in it, and that one looks awesome. Really, really cool. Very lucky to have that one. They already did go to their new homes. If you did see that video, I think it was 2 weeks ago when you're seeing this one. 2 or 3 weeks ago. But those were Guppy and Gladys's kids, and they're fine. Havoc and Hera are not able to lay yet, but they are Blue Swedishes. They are actually just Swedish ducks, but the color variation is blue. So Blue Swedish is what people call them. It's what they're most known for, is that color, is blue. But yeah, that's what they are. And so Guppy and Gladys had the 5 kids hatch out, and Gladys had a few more hatch out because she was the mother of some eggs under Hawaii, but Guppy had all 8 of those are his. And very proud of that. He's over here with me in the run, but he is fantastic, and yeah, perfect Drake. Could not ask for anything differently. But what I have noticed with the Blue Swedish genetic combos that I have, because I had a black Cayuga cross with him, I had Pekin crosses, and I had Rowan crosses, and then some pure blues, or some pure Swedish. The Blue Swedish genetic is stronger than everything else. The only other genetic combination that was able to even shine through more so is Cayuga. Now, even with all of those, you are going to see that some of the ducklings are a little bit bigger, or one of the ducklings that is a Rowan actually has a red stripe down her head, and that's a Rowan cross with him. But she's still silver, or not silver. She is still Swedish, even with being black. She's still the Swedish cross. I will show you guys the babies and also what I'm doing, and then I will be doing kind of an overall duck update, but more so just a small update for my duck flock and my current plans with them. So let me go over here. But before I do that, let me say, I did say in previous videos that I was keeping the one with the red stripe. I am not keeping her as that one. I don't know if it's her or him. I am not keeping that duckling anymore. I am just going to keep the silver one, and I will show you that, and I will show you what I mean by silver and all of that. I'm going to get into the genetic part of it in just a moment. So let's go over here and see Hawaii and her babies. Walking. Hey. I'm going to move this a little bit so we can sit down without sitting in duck poop, because nobody likes sitting in duck poop at all, not even Zachary. Okay, fine, I'll just move this one. Sorry, y'all, that took a minute. Come here. Come on. Okay, you can see that's the one that I wanted to keep. The one with the rowan. You might be able to see the two lines on her face. And that one back there is the silver. And the silver one is the one that I'm keeping. The only duckling that I'm keeping out of these groups. Or this group at all. Because, yeah, I want the silver, either whether it's male or female, I'm keeping it. Because hers are, in my opinion, more sought after, and they are rarer to get. So it's a lot with that aspect of them. But what I want to do is really, I want to get a male, or I want to get one silver, whether male or female, and then breed back later on. If it's a male, it can be bred to 2 females. If it's a female, she can be bred back to one of the males. Either way, but I would like to keep her. And then when you, okay, this is the genetic side of Swedish ducks. When you are breeding blue to blue Swedish to blue Swedish, which is what I bred together, you can get that's the one that I wanted to keep. When you are breeding blue to blue, when you hatch out, you will get a 50% hatch rate, or not 50% hatch rate, 50% of the offspring will be blue. 25% of the offspring will be black, and 25% of the offspring will be silver. Now, out of all the ones that I hatched out, only one was silver, which is not awful. It's just how the genetic card played out this time. But that is about roughly what you'll get. If you hatched out 100 chicks, that would be what you got. More than likely. It doesn't really go off of anything else. But out of 100, that's what you can expect. Now, the only way that you can get blue, if you don't have a blue, is by breeding a black Swedish male to a silver Swedish female, or a silver Swedish male to a black Swedish female. And that is the only way that you can get a blue Swedish. And when breeding either of those, you will get almost 100% blue offspring. Moving. You will get almost 100% blue by breeding blue, not breeding blue, by breeding black to silver, whether male or female, vice versa with either one. When you breed black to black, you will get, and I'm going to leave this all in the description below, so if you would like to see it, or I'll pin a comment, I might do both, so you can really tell, or really understand what I'm getting here. If you're not understanding it, I'm a little confusing at times. When breeding black to black, you will get 100% black offspring. There's nothing else that you can get. When breeding silver to silver, you will get 100% silver. Now, that's not saying that something else couldn't pop up. More than likely, that's what you're gonna get. Now, what I did say, breeding black to black, silver to silver, blue to blue. But what do you get if you breed blue to silver or blue to black? What you get if you're breeding blue to silver, you will get 50% blue and 50% silver. That's what I'm aiming for next year with my breedings. After that, if you breed black to blue, you are going to get 50% blue and 50% black. The color genetic side of it is really, really interesting to me. I'm just trying to make sure that like everybody gets it, and like I'm saying it and that I say it in a good way. Sorry, one of the hens were freaking out. That I say it in a way that is... Now, you can see up front that lighter colored duckling, that's the silver. Male or female, I'm keeping it. Because I wanted a silver, and I was not lucky in my original breedings. And this little one is the absolute cutest. That one right up front there is a black cayuga. The one right there is black cayuga cross. The black one in the back is another rowan cross. The other black one is a rowan and blue Swedish cross as well. Now you might be wondering to yourself, why are they black? That's where the color genetics come in. That's why I also said blue Swedish genetics really overthrew this entire clutch. Everything is really blue, black, or in that case the one silver. And I know this one's the silver one is pure because it was the last egg to hatch, and the egg was definitely blue Swedish. But all of them have those color combinations. There's only a few that the genetics didn't really know what was happening, but everything looks like that. So that's why that one that's a rowan cross is more black with a solid black chest, or with a little bit of a white chest. Very light. And the other one has a whiter chest. It's just how the genetic combos played out. The same reason you do not look exactly identical to your sibling is because the genetic aspect of it is very different. Now, when I'm breeding next year with the blue Swedish, silver Swedish, see, she's so cute. With the silver, she's so cute. When I am breeding next year with the silver, whether male or female, I will be breeding her back to a blue. So that means the offspring will be 50% blue, 50% silver. Out of those, I'm probably going to raise up a group of 4 or 5 silvers, get a female, and the rest of them are going. Maybe 2 females. I don't know. I really don't need any more. But that might be that's most likely what I'm going to be doing. Okay, and this is the other aspect of it, which I wanted to talk about. Since we've gotten more males, and I really don't have any space before, which we could have kept them if we didn't have such few females, but we have the Khaki Campbell males that were the original group, and we had 2 rowan females and 2 pekin females. One of the pekins have passed, and one of the rowans have passed. So I have 1 pekin, 1 rowan, and 2 Khaki Campbells. I don't have any Khaki Campbell females, and I do not want Khaki Campbell females as of right now. Maybe one day in the future I would get them. Well, actually, not one day in the future I might get them. I would most likely get a flock of them just to be able to sell those as well. But right now, with the limited space that I have, that's not what I'm going for. So those Khaki Campbell drakes are going to my great-grandparents to live out their days. Well, not their days. They will be back here for the winter, and then when breeding season isn't active. And then next year is when I'll probably be making the tough decision on whether or not I'm getting rid of them or not. This year, we're going to see how they do over there. Maybe they can continue going back and forth like that until I get my farm. But I don't really want that to happen. So that's a gamble with that. But that is what I'm hoping, and what'll probably end up happening is I get rid of them, which is fine with me. I don't particularly like it. I would rather get a farm than get rid of them, but getting rid of them is or getting a farm is expensive and not in budget right now. So that is where that is. And then we got 2 other ducklings this year, Marco and Frenchie. You've seen a few videos with those. They are a couple weeks ago. I don't know which videos they're titled. Marco is a male, we're pretty sure. If it is, Frenchie's a female. I know I have a male and a female, or 2 females. If Margot is a Marco, then I don't know what to do, because I don't know what they are particularly, but I would like to keep them. If they're 2 females, great. That gives me a little bit more headway to do some things. But if not, then no. But to be able to keep, and the reason why I'm not keeping this other Rowan cross is because if I keep a cross, I won't have any room for a pure like I want. Like, I want to keep another silver Swedish. I wouldn't be able to keep another silver Swedish if I kept a cross now, or I kept those 2 drakes. Those 2 drakes are going, so then I can make room for this other Swedish and everything like that. So it just doesn't make sense for me to really keep a cross when it's not the direction that I want my flock to go in. And I've already talked about it in Monday's video. If you have not seen that, it is the Welsh update video. 2 videos before on this channel. And I would like to keep another Welsh female next year, and potentially a male, depending on numbers and color genetics, obviously. But I would love to see where things go with that. And maybe I don't hatch out, or maybe I don't keep a Welsh next year, but the next year I do. But I keep the silver next year, because we only have 1 as of right now, which we could get more. But I am planning on hatching out those ducklings again, and just seeing where things go. I'm gonna put you guys down. I got a little scratch next to my nose. But they are staying here as of now, and for the next while they're staying here. I would like to get a farm soon, but like I said, it's not in budget. When I do, I already have a plan. I want to have a breeding flock of Swedishes and a breeding flock of Welshes. Not very large flocks at all, somewhat small, working on colors really, and then bringing in new blood when I need it. But that is a task for down the road. I'm not going to think too much about it because it is not there yet. But with that, that's really where my flock's going. These things will all be put into the comments and in the description, like the breeding things and what I'm doing. But the way that I see it with that, to touch more on the cross, is if I keep crosses, I wouldn't have room for any pures, and I would like to keep another silver when they hatch out next year, and another Welsh at some point, which I don't know when that would be, but I would like to, and I would like to have the option if needed. So I do need to see. I hate getting rid of this one, and it might be that I keep this one for a little while longer than I keep the other ones, just to see if it's a female. Maybe it be that I keep her for a little bit this year, and then next year I get rid of her and make room for another. That's really what I need to work on here now, because y'all are fine, because I don't want to get into the point where I am overrun with crosses and I'm not able to get rid of any more, or not able to keep any more because I'm keeping crosses. So that is where I'm at with my flock at the moment. Sorry, I'm trying to fix this thing. But that is where I am at with my overall flock and blue Swedishes in particular. I just want to be able to keep, if I had more land it wouldn't be a problem, but I'm not going to bank on that in the next year or two. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's what it is. If it happens, I'll be able to keep them, and it might be that I keep that one longer, like I said, but yeah, I will be keeping a few more. That's why I'm making room for some and getting rid of them. I am still keeping chickens, but I'm going to really see what the chickens do, how much room that I have. It will probably be that I don't get any more for 2 or 3 years, just let things happen, like if I get sick and pass or things like that, and then in a couple years get more. But it depends on what I'm doing with that, and that's not just solely up to me. It is also up to my mom, and to see what we do there. But whatever happens, we're still going to have animals, obviously. We're still going to have chickens, still going to have ducks. Just means that I might have to get rid of a few of my closer ones with the ducks. If I have to get rid of the ducks to keep any more, then that's fine with me, because I knew from the very beginning that it was a possibility. But that is fine with me. Like I said, and when I got these breeds, I didn't really know where my duck flock was going. I didn't think that I'd be doing what I'm doing today. And I wasn't sure what I was necessarily doing and what breeds that I would eventually get and what breeds that I would want to work on and things like that. So I am working on the Welshes and the Blue Swedish, if you haven't been able to tell. And I also have two very interesting ducks, Marco and Frenchie, which I want to work on them a little bit, or just see what they are, really. They look really cool, so I would need to see. But that is for a whole nother video. Sorry, that was Hawaii. That is a whole nother video. But this is what I'm doing with my flock. I will put everything down in the comments, like I said. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I know this is not like a lot of fun scenes and things like that, more of a sit-down talk, educational video, because there is not a lot of educational content out there for the Blue Swedish or the Welsh. I had to go pages and pages on Google through just to be able to find some information, especially with the Blue Swedish. It was really hard. And I want to make that information more readily available to people, where it's easier to type in and things like that. I need to talk to Reagan about something, but it might be something for in the future if we can figure it out. And that would be lovely. It would be a lovely addition to what we're doing. But yeah, but that's for the future. All of this that we're doing, though, all of this that I'm doing is educational. Everything that we do on the From Your channel is too, but this is educational for everyone, and I want everybody to feel safe here, and to also feel safe to ask questions. Feel free to ask questions, and I will answer. I'm not judging anybody. If you have what you think might be a dumb question, there's no such thing as a dumb question, but don't be afraid to ask it because you think it might be dumb. Everybody started out one way or another. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.